All right, so let's sit down and talk about this one because this is where a lot of people get it wrong without even realizing it. And I know the title sounds simple. What companies actually pay attention to that new inspectors miss. But I'm telling you, this right here is the difference between somebody who struggles to get steady work and somebody who stays booked and gets more assignments and starts actually making real money. And the crazy part is, most of it has nothing to do with how hard the inspection is. So imagine you're just sitting around, I don't know, sitting on the couch and talking, and you just started with field inspection. So now you're excited, right? And you think to yourself, oh, okay. I just need to go out and take some pictures, fill out some forms, and that's it. And technically, yeah, that's the job. But that's not what companies are really even watching when you first start. They're not just asking, did you complete the work? They're asking, can I trust you without having to think about you? And that's the real game. One of the first things new inspectors miss is this. They're trying to be perfect. They're overthinking angles, retaking the same photos 5 times. They're stressing over every little detail like they're being graded in school or something. Meanwhile, the company is not sitting around zooming into your photos like, is this artistic enough? Let me see, did they get a right angle? Oh, I can put this in a book. No, they're not doing that. What they care about is consistency. Can you actually deliver the same level of work every time without falling off? Because you see, from their perspective, they're managing hundreds, sometimes thousands of inspectors. They don't want to babysit you. They want to know, if I assign this to you, will it come back complete, clean, and usable every single time? And that's it. You being perfect one day and sloppy the next, all right, now that's a problem. You being very solid every time, now of course we all know that's the valuable part of the game. So now let's talk about something people really underestimate sometimes, all right? Turnaround times. The turnaround times of these files. New inspectors would take an assignment and think, I'll get to it when I get to it. No, these companies are on timelines with carriers, clients, policies, deadlines, all of that stuff. So when they assign something to you, there's an invisible clock running. All right. And I know you probably realize when you see those dates steady adding up on your file, that's your clock right there. Oh, I've had that 4 days. Oh, I've had that 5 days. You get what I'm saying? But there is an invisible clock running, and they are paying attention to patterns. And those patterns is stuff like, how fast do you accept the assignments that we send to you in the first place? How quickly do you schedule or even attempt to contact the insured if you are doing appointments? How long does it take you to actually complete your actual assignment when it's given to you? Are you dragging files past due? Have they turned into the red? I haven't worked for a company yet where it don't go red. It goes red when it's past due. Are you dragging those files around? You might think it's just one file, but to them, that's data. That's data on you, okay? If you are always slow, you become a liability, whether you know it or not. If you're consistently on time or early, you become someone they actually rely on. And once they trust your timing, that's when the volume starts to increase. When they know that they can rely on you to actually jump in on it and get the work done. Now this one right here, I wish more people understood. And that is communication. Not over communication, not writing essays, but clear, simple, professional updates here or there. A lot of new inspectors just disappear. They get a file, something goes wrong, I don't know. Maybe they get stressed, maybe they get worried about it and just don't know how to handle it, so they shut down, okay? But something goes wrong. Maybe the homeowner doesn't answer the phone. The gates is locked when they go somewhere and they don't know how to handle it. It's dogs in the yard and they don't know what they should do. And instead of communicating that to the company, they just go silent and sit and hold the file because they don't know what to do and they don't realize that it's important to just let these people know. Companies absolutely hate that because now they're wondering, is this being handled or not? Are you actually doing the work? What's happening? You don't have to say a lot, but something like attempted today but no answer, or I went to the house but the dog was in the yard. Take a picture of the dog. I can't tell you how many times I've taken a picture when I was doing home inspections of a dog in the front yard losing it because it saw me get out of the car down the street. Do what you have to do to communicate with them and let them know what the issue is. Something like, I will attempt it tomorrow, or whatever you are planning to do, but just let them know. Property inaccessible due to locked gates. Just give them something professional on your file, or even drop it in the email for your regional manager, something to just let them know what's happening. Now that right there is going to show some sort of professionalism. It shows you're engaged. It shows that you're paying attention. And more importantly, it reduces stress on their end. And that definitely is important, whether you care about it or not. Now, this is a big one. Companies are watching how many problems come back attached to your name. And I know, but listen to me. I ain't trying to step on no toes. I just want you to know, because I've been doing this long enough, I do know this. Companies care about what type of problems come back and are attached to your name, not just the inspection itself, but everything around it. Let's say, for example, you have submitted a file, okay, and your photos are missing, okay, or you're missing required angles. Let's say, for example, if you're taking pictures of a roof and it says on the file to take a picture of the roof in the front, in the back, on each side, and a back angle and a front angle, and you just come back and all you got is a front angle, a back angle, and a side. Well, the instructions said a picture of the roof from the side of the back and the front. So you've missed two actual photos. I suppose that's what you do. And then you have to go back. And then the next time you're doing the same thing. All right? Are your reports being kicked back for all of these sort of corrections? Are there complaints from homeowners about you? Are you ignoring simple instructions that may be on your file? Every time something has to be fixed, that's extra work for them. And they remember that, even if nobody says anything to you directly. And most of the time they don't. On the flip side, if your files go through clean, no revisions, no confusions, no issues at all, now that's good, because now you're saving them time and not costing them time. And for those of you who don't seem to care about that, and I'm speaking to, probably the new inspectors who are probably feeling like, well, you know what, they can do that, or it shouldn't matter, at least I got, no. The job is a job. So save them time. You've done everything right, and you save them actual time on the back end. Then you know what? Every time something comes up that they know needs to get done, guess who they're looking for? Okay. Now let's talk real life for a second, because field inspection is not clean and predictable at all. You're going to run into no-shows. You're going to run into people who don't want you there on their properties at all. You're going to run into properties that you can't access at all. Situations that feel uncomfortable from left to right. You don't know whether you should stay, go, what you should do. Should you call someone? Now here's the part. Companies are not expecting perfection in those moments, but they are paying attention to how you handle it. Do you use good judgment? Are you able to do that without being told what to do? Can you follow the guidelines, or have you even read them? Do you know what your company's guidelines are? Can you document properly? Can you stay professional? Or do you panic? Do you skip steps? Turn in incomplete work without explanation, because a lot of people do that. I cannot tell you how many files I have received that someone else has already had. And when I go in and look at the previous file, because some companies have them attached, I can see the information in there, maybe 5 or 6 photos. But this actual insured carrier is required a slew of pictures. Who did this inspection? Somebody who's probably not going to get any more work. And that's a fact. Your decision making in those moments of all of those problems that could occur tells them everything, because they're not with you while you're out in the street. So they need to know that you can think for yourself. Now, this may be the most important part of everything that I've said. You do not have to be the best inspector to win in this space. And that's the truth. You need to be reliable. If they send you 10 files, will they get 10 back? If they send you 20, will you handle it? If they increase your workload, will you fold or will you adjust to it? Reliability builds trust, and that's for sure now. And trust brings volume, a lot of volume. Those who have been doing this and in the game for a while can contest it. Everything that I just said. And volume is where the money is. Okay, so now even though this is independent work, your attitude still shows. It shows how you write notes. It shows how you respond to all the messages that come in and out. You think a lot of people like to say, you don't know what I meant by that text message. Yes, I did. Your attitude shows how you respond to messages, how you respond to any sort of complaint, or just handling things all the way around. How do you handle stuff? It shows whether you make excuses or provide solutions. Nobody wants to deal with someone who feels like extra work. They want people to make their job easier. And trust me, they can feel the difference. Now, before we go any further, I just want to make a note to all of you who are probably interested in the Roundtable. The session Roundtable is Wednesday, coming up on the 25th. If you want to be a part of the community and a growing family of field inspectors, and those of you who are new are invited as well, please see the link in the description and sign up today. Now let's flip it for a second, because new inspectors usually focus on the wrong things. They focus on, am I doing this perfectly? Do I look professionally enough? What cameras should I use? Am I getting the best angles? And of course, while all of that actually does matter, it's not what determines whether you succeed. What actually matters is, are you consistent? Are you on time? Are you easy to actually work with? Do you create problems or do you actually solve them? Companies are tracking. Trust me. Once you understand this, everything shifts. You stop trying to impress and you start trying to be dependable. You stop overthinking and you start executing. You stop focusing on yourself and you start thinking, what does the company need from me right now at this moment? That's when things start opening up. More assignments, more relationships, better relationships, more stability. Once again, more files, more money. So if you're new or have even been doing this for a while and things feel inconsistent for you, okay, just take a step back and ask yourself, if I were the company, would I trust me with more work? Not based on effort, but based on results. Because at the end of the day, this job is simple on the surface, but underneath, it's all about trust. And once you understand what they're actually paying attention to, you start moving forward. And that's when the work really starts working for you. You guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, because you know I'll be bringing you back something later. Thank you once again for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.